This is Thomas Otten here, and today I'm going to be going over a little project I did for my 2000 Boxster S. As you can see, the seats in the interior have just gotten really in poor shape, and much of it really wasn't from any sort of well, the driver's seat was from somewhat from wear, but the passenger seat rarely got used, and it just started deteriorating. Originally, I had wanted to just have the seats recovered, and I had actually received some recovering kits, but the color was absolutely completely different from what from the red that is in the car, which is of course known as Boxster Red. So instead of doing that, and then then I also tried sourcing some samples from some other manufacturers, and I don't know if it's just COVID or what's going on, but I couldn't even get anybody to send me a sample, even though they said on their website, yes, we have the exact color, the exact match, but I couldn't even get a sample. So what I decided to do was just look online and find some seats. And now the problem with that is you always find that the passenger seat is in decent shape, but the driver's seat is usually worn pretty bad. And so that was what originally sent me into wanting just to get a recovering. But then I started to think, there's really not much difference between the passenger seat and the driver's seat. In fact, they both have sliders on both sides, at least to move the back portion of the seat. So really, I started thinking, well, can I just make a passenger seat into a driver's seat? And that would solve my problem. I'd get a factory recovered seat in decent shape, because it was always the passenger seat, and it would then become the driver. So I was reasonably sure that it could be done, but of course not 100% sure. So only way was just to dive in and give it a go. So this is the story of how I restored my Boxster's red leather interior by finding two good passenger seats and converting one of them into a driver's. If you're watching this and you happen to know of a supplier of the original Boxster Red leather upholstery material and you've had good experience with it, please provide that in the comments. Now, the seat control panels are located closest to the door side of the seat. So when this gets swapped over, we're going to be left with an opening on that side, but that side is not going to be seen. So it's really not that big of a deal. So the seat cushion is supported by the seat sliding mechanism, and that is held on by several bolts, and they're all pretty easy to get to. One of them you have to get to, and you can get to them all without removing the upholstery. You just got to kind of work a wrench in on one of them, but they all come out fairly easily. So on the actual car, I removed the seats, and of course the seats are just held in with 4 bolts, and come out fairly easily. And there's a couple of connections under the seat that need to be removed. And on the original seats, I removed the existing control panels and a few of the odds and ends and cosmetics, and basically just took apart what I needed there. And then here we have the the complete sliding mechanism from my original seat, and basically there's everything that you need lined up right here. And all of this needs to be transferred to the passenger seat that you're wanting to put in there. And so just an overview of all the little bits. It's pretty straightforward. But that there is basically everything that you need to get off of there. And there's the seat under it with the mechanism removed. And of course, there's also seat belt and some control wiring that needs to be removed so it can be put onto the new seat. Now, instead of an adjuster, this passenger seat just had a fixed member here, and that just had to be removed, and it was held in place by pop rivets. Just had to drill those out. And of course, this is a really good opportunity to do some deep cleaning of the carpet, which really needs it around the sides of the seats. And so here I'm just attaching the mechanism to my new seat, which there we go, and doing the seat belt. And now here basically had to cut into the seat side so that I could mount the control panel. So of course measure twice, cut once, so you don't ruin the leather. Now we've got our seat back in, and we're just gonna tighten the 4 bolts that hold it down. Now, one good thing about removing the seats of your car is you get to find things that were irretrievably lost. This little shift indicator fell off and fell between the seats long ago, and I was able to find it and happy to reattach it. A couple of pics of the seats that were removed. So here we have the before and after. Just really looks so much better. Now, one thing you may notice, there is a slight color difference between these seats. Now, they're both out of Boxster Red interior Boxsters. There seems to be some slight variation in colors. That's probably due to different factory runs of the seats, likely also just fading over time. But the difference is not noticeable enough to really make me worry about it. In fact, I have to point it out to people who I showed it to. And so I'm very happy with the way it came out, and happy to have 2 original seats in there again that look really good. And so there's your answer. It is possible to convert a passenger seat to a driver's seat and have good results with it. It's not too hard of a project. Probably takes me a good part of a morning. Probably 4 to 6 hours to get everything done. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And until next time, tschüss.